What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the Race Spec F1 Esports F2 Pacific Series here for season number 2. We're here, as you can see, probably can tell from the bottom left of the screen. We're here for round number 6 here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Track that I've never done Formula 2 cars at before, so this should be exciting. And considering, obviously, if you haven't already watched this series so far, well, sorry, this whole season so far, then what the hell have you been doing? Anyway, we're in the MP Motorsport car, and usual with us was probably we'd be starting from the back. So let's see how it goes. Here we go for our one-shot qualifying lap around the Spielberg circuit. First sector time is an 18.8. Probably not ideal, but it is what it is, really. Just pretty much just trying to learn the circuit here, really. Qualifying sometimes is usually my practice for certain race circuits. You usually have to brake a little bit earlier at some parts of the track compared to an F1 car, obviously. But, yeah, we're going all right so far. It seems pretty clean at the moment. Probably could have gone a little bit deeper there into turn 6, running very wide there. Didn't get an invalidation, so that's all good. 52.877 in sector 2. Did not get the line right coming through turns 7 and 8. But here we go, lining up the final couple of corners here. Just missed the apex quite a bit, actually. And into the final corner, we pretty much nailed it here. Didn't want to obviously run wide and invalidate my lap time. Gaining Wafer is on pole position, but we finish up with a 16.796, which I felt wasn't too bad of a lap until I actually saw the results afterwards, which we'll check in a second here. So Gaming Wafer, like I said, gets pole with a 14.4. I think it was, no, hang on, yeah, 14.443, gets the 4 bonus points, and then he 5 me in P16, which I'm pretty much the slowest car on the track. So not ideal considering, but my teammate's in position 12 as well, so not all so bad. Let's get to the race.
We need you to give other cars as much space as possible today. There's likely to be trouble down into turn 1.
That is for sure. Thank you, Jeff, as always. So welcome, guys and girls, to the feature race to start off the weekend for F2. Race strategy-wise, it's an interesting one. Have a look at the weather forecast. There's a slight chance of maybe a little bit of a shower later on in the race. And obviously, it'll maybe potentially dry up as well after that. So it might be only a short, sharp shower there for the race. But there's the standings if you want to have a look at them whilst we set off for the formation lap.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Thank you, Jess. So we're P17 in the driver's standings in F2.
We may see some rain. ETA is about 15 minutes.
As Jeff gives us the update there on the weather. It's pretty close, I think, in the team's championship as well with Formula 2. I think it's 13 points between them. But yeah, we're going for the super soft tyres this one. I was tempted to go for the softs, but after the last race, I thought maybe we'll do something different. So here we go for here in Austria 5, red lights. Let's do it around the Red Bull ring, and it's a fairly good start, actually. We nail it off the line, get off the BWT Arden cars away there, so we made up a couple of spots here. Again, nice and cautiously there. Lunacy goes coming out. So, Schmitty's going around at the first couple of corners there. As there's a spin, can we avoid it? No, we can't, unfortunately. We get caught up in all of that. I was hoping that I would not get caught up in drama again, but somehow I seem to always get caught up in drama. I don't know what it is, but it has something to do with being in the GOAT car or what. The GOAT car, if you haven't worked out, being Mahave Raghunathan. But, yeah, was not ideal to say the least anyway. But we're P17 now after all of that. As there's another one around that's Gold Gloves. That's around there in the Trident entry. And Schmitty is not far behind us as well. But you probably can tell we've got massive front wing damage here. Not too bad. Well, it's not red wing damage. Schmitty goes for a massive lunge there down the inside. Makes a meal of the final corner, but he manages to hang on for the final placing there. Not that it mattered too much there, but he gets up into P14 now because there's a couple of guys that came into the pit lane. I think it was BK and one of the other BWT Arden cars. I'd probably say it was Lunacy. I'm not 100% sure there, but Anyway, you can see we're still plodding on here. We decided not. I was tempted to
see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
Thank you, Jeff. As the weather update again, saying another 10 to 15 minutes before we see any rain at all. But yeah, I decided to just stick it out here. I was really tempted as there's James off the road again in the Carlin entry. Seems to be doing that quite a lot in these last few races there. There's always some point in the race you always see his car off the road. Sorry, James. I'm trying not to be too harsh, but we get past him, thankfully, and we move up into P14. So, yeah, what I was saying, I was trying to, continuing on with this, obviously with the front wing damage, because it felt like it was not worth it just to come in and chuck on the soft compounded tyres, because you never know what could happen here. If it turns out to be a similar France like it was last time, then, well, I mean, anything's possible, really. You'd have to stick it out on the dry tyres. This is the replay of the start. Like I said, a booming start. Beat both the Arden cars off the line here, but we'll slow it down here into turn 1. So Schmidt's already around here, so he's obviously had contact with somebody, but I don't know. It looked like Breno maybe got on the power too early or something. Not entirely 100% sure there, but I think unfortunately BK got caught up in that as well as myself. I don't believe there was much anyone else that was caught up in that, but yeah, that was a real shame, unfortunately, there for us, man. But on board we go with Crossy here in the Sauber Junior team powered by Charoux. So let's have a look here going down into turn 1 here, because that's Schmitty there on the inside. He gets caught up in the tyre of the right rear of Gaming Wafer, I think, the pole sitter. So that would probably explain a lot. I don't know whether he was trying for an audacious move or whether there was contact from Gaming Wafer, not 100% sure. There's Crossy go right around the outside of Pure Gold in the dams, but not quite going quite around the outside. So he settles into position 3 for now. We'll jump aboard now with the man behind Crossy is Plebs here in the Prema. See how his start goes. Pretty okay. I think pretty much everybody got away pretty well off the start here. And then there goes Schmitty around. Oh, there's more contact there with Plebs and Kick Butt Kiwi. So there's actually lost a couple of spots there in the end, obviously, to Kick Butt Kiwi and to Toey Rudy NZ. He's got his teammate as well, right behind him as well. These guys, majority, I think most of these guys, some of these guys have gone on to soft compounded tyres. Must have mentioned that a couple of times, but yeah, a few guys, I'll try and make it simply. There's a few guys that have started on the soft compounded tyres and a few that are doing the super soft tyre compounds. So you can see there's me on the right-hand side there, getting the boomer start as we go on board here with James, good old James Cruz, going around the outside here of, that's the other Arden car of ACW, and oh geez, managing to avoid all of that. He gets around, who's at ACI, just trying to work, ACI Real E89, I think that's how you pronounce it. So again, I apologise if I get the gaming names wrong there, your gamer tag wrong there, but I think he's relatively new to this, well, for this race, but not sure about for this season here, but goes around the outside, inside of Bodhod there. Now he's trying to make the move on Tay Lunacy here in the other Arden car. Try right around the outside, but Lunacy manages to hang on for the time being, but he'll try to crisscross here. Might actually pull it off here for James. He's up at the 10th spot here for the time being, but it might not be for too long, unless he can actually hang it. He might actually do it, you know, he does. Nice work there from James, up into 10th place. So, to be fair, James has actually avoided the chaos at the start there and got himself up in the 10th spot, but how much longer will that last? Well, who knows, but now back aboard we go with Plebs, who's watching this battle here between Toey Rudy NZ and Kick Butt Kiwi, as he tries to get the power down off the corner there, turn 3, but can't quite, has enough here on Toey Rudy NZ. There's James. There goes, I think he's already lost a spot there. Well, sorry, 2 spots now to Bothod and that's ACI there in the other Arden car. So lost these 2 spots. So he gives a little bash there to the Arden car. Bothod goes way off the circuit there in the other Campos. He's filling in obviously for Big Donga, who couldn't race this round, and I think their reserve couldn't race either. So he's going to take a nice course here, trying to do the crisscross. He nearly got on the power perfectly there for James, but unfortunately didn't quite work out in the end. And now he's going to watch this battle unfold here between Bodhon and ACI. Really 89 as Bodhon goes in way too deep and James goes for the move. And again, I think he's pulled it off. Somehow he's actually pulled it off. Well done, James. So he gets himself up into position 10. But again, for how much longer? He's running wide here through turn 7. It might not be for too much longer. As there goes ACI on the left-hand side there. I'm just going to call it ACI for the time being because I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce the next bit in the game attack here. But back we go to Crossy. He's under attack here from Spilly in the Trident entry behind. They're going to go side by side here through turn, well, technically it's turn 2. Apparently, well, a lot of people saying that's not really a corner, and probably I'd say I'd agree with them. I don't know why they call turn 2 a corner. Turn 2 should be up here. Is where Plebs is going right now, but as Toe's really NZ goes in a little bit too deep there. He's filling in for Zach Crichton. I think he was busy doing some study work for his school, so I believe. But Plebs now manages to get the move done here. As James goes for a massive dive bomb up the inside there. That was a bit of a risk there, and he actually gets himself a bit of front wing damage for his troubles. So probably pushing the limit there a little bit there, James, if I'm honest. But, oh well, anyway. Back we go now to these two battling away here. And I think that's going on here for the lead as well. As here comes Spilly around the outside. He's got the DRS. And this time he should have the inside line. He's squeezing Crossy for, I don't know why. I don't actually know why. That should have given it a bit more room there, if I'm completely honest. I don't know whether Crossy would have been too thrilled about that one, but well, I think the lead was going on between Pure Gold and Gaming Wafer. As there's, the inside goes Breno on James. Bodhod also got past as well. Here comes Schmidt. He's trying to make his way back through the field. Again, he started on the soft compound of tyres, so he should be able to go for quite a long time here, but he's only up into, what was that, P13, as James actually gets a penalty for his troubles there. Probably a bit of deserve there with the amount of cutting he was doing. Goes in way too deep going into turn 4 there. Nelly actually slaps into the back of Jay Schmidt there, but and then you probably all know the rest. You've probably all seen it so already. There's me going around the outside. Making sure, obviously trying not to make sure he didn't do the crisscross, and thankfully he didn't do so anyway. But all right, a bit further back, further on, James and Gold Gloves going side by side here as he goes in way too deep again, does James, and unfortunately loses the spot to Gold Gloves. Thankfully, he's not last at the moment. He's still in P15, I think it is at this stage, because of the other guys that are coming to the pit lane. Oh, kickback Kiwi got a little bit sideways coming off turn 1 there, and Plebs might actually have a decent run here. Super soft tyres compared to softs. This is probably the time when the super softs really start to go off a little bit here. They're probably thinking that maybe the reasoning of some of these guys on the softs is probably because they're thinking of the weather.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
The incoming weather that's, well, the rain that's coming potentially later in this race. But if you remember,
The car behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
if you remember back to the France videos,
Hitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
if you remember back to France last time out, if you haven't checked it out, by the way, go check it out. There'll obviously be a link to it probably at the end of this video if you want to go see it. But or if you want to go check out the channel, there's Bodhod that was around at turn 3. But it was a bit weird because I was hoping that the weather would come. As there's James just destroying the 60k speed limit sign there. So if anybody was wondering who destroyed the speed limit sign coming into the pits, there's your answer. As his front tyres are way very used tyres at the moment for James. Be glad to get his super soft tyres off, I would think. He'll be getting on the soft tyres, and obviously front wing change. Had to serve a 5-second stop-go penalty for his troubles. It's as away he goes here. But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier. France, obviously, the rain came later, and I was pretty much sticking it out for as long as I dare, as my teammates actually come into the lane as well. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case here, but pretty much I got no other choice here, really. You could probably say I was a little bit annoyed, but and in other case, I was just coming in at the end of this lap anyway. But yeah, France, it was a bit of weird as well, because there was talk of wet weather late in the race. It did come, but it didn't come fully wet enough to like make the track wet. And you know, I tried a bit of a gamble, obviously going to literally the last lap before I actually came in, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So the dries have worked it out pretty well here, as the team are a little bit slow there. As an incredible job that they do to change the front wing. I've got to say, it's incredible work from MP Motorsport here. So pretty quick turnaround. Hold-up time wasn't too bad because obviously my teammate, the Stone Towel, who's I think my teammate for the rest of the season now, because unfortunately Dan the Racer had to pull out due to work commitments, which is a bit unfortunate. But anyway, we've now got the front wing and now onto the soft tyres. So we should have some decent pace for the remainder of this race.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
And again, Jeff saying that the rain is well and truly off at the moment here. Still saying 10 to 15 minutes away. So you can see that it's just starting to get overcast here a little bit as Lunacy's actually come into the pit lane.
Gap to car in front is 6.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 17.5. You're closing by 4/10 per lap. They have a time penalty of 9.0.
And I just got a 3-second time penalty myself.
5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain.
So there's a bit of a 6-second difference between the both of us, you could say, if you take penalties into account there. But 5 minutes until the rain came, as that was probably a bit weird getting a track limits warning there, but I ran wide going to turn 1 anyway. So it did get overcast very, very quickly. And obviously, you said 5 minutes before the rain was imminent, so you could probably tell that it's going to be one of those ones like France was, really. It's going to come late, and it may not just get wet enough, because I'll get back to the second. There's Crossy in for the pit lane, and not the greatest getaway, if I'm honest, there for Crossy. He's getting out onto the super soft tyres. And there's Kickbutt Kiwi. He's actually just got ahead of him here, so you think with the new fresh tyre, obviously, and there's a difference of tyres between these two cars, being Kickbutt Kiwis on the softs and the super softs for Crossy. He should have the momentum here, and I think he will in the end here. But yeah, but back to what I was trying to say, if the track doesn't get wet enough, obviously the F2 cars don't run the intermediate tyres compared to the F1 cars. They only have the wet compounded tyres. So basically, you've got to hope for a big downpour, basically, just to have any shot to get the wets on. But if it's anything like France was the previous week before, then basically we're going to be stuck on this.
Some rain. We'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
We're going to be stuck on this tyres as always. Jeff saying that the rain's not too far away. We passed BK, who technically he was still in the race, but his AI was taken over because I think he had something else to do or something or other. Not entirely sure here, but Plebs is also in the lane now. Peel Gold, I think, is also come in as well for the super soft tyres, and I'll stop there from all the gang down to Prema and Dams. But back to us. We're now should be making a few spots here because Bodhod's now come into the lane for a set of the super soft. Oh, he's on the super softs, but might be on the soft. No, sorry, he actually is on the super softs, I think. So might have been another one that was waiting it long here.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.6 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:18.7. You're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
And it actually felt pretty comfortable as well. Hard to believe, I know, considering I had no practice. But I started to build on quite a rhythm. Nearly said Elmer Fudd there, moment there. But back we go to Plebs and Kickbutt Kiwi. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. Now, usually if you obviously feature race is obviously whoever finishes 1 through to 8, it'll be reversed for the sprint race. So basically whoever finishes in 8th place will get reverse grid pole position for the sprint race. So at the moment it looks like Kickbutt Kiwi may have it because Plebs has got by him for 7th spot there in the end. But anyway, and he might be pulling away, obviously, again, the difference in the tyre compounds as well. But back to lap 17 here. You can probably tell that the rain is starting to fall here as we pick up another 3-second time penalty, which does not...
We'll go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
That does not help there, but...
12 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:19.8. You're gaining by 8/10. 8/10.
We're still slowly but surely starting to gain here. You probably tell back on, I think it was lap 15, that the rain, it's starting to slowly come down, but with the amount of laps left to go here, I'd be doubtful if it get wet enough to go onto the wets. But anyway, back we go with Crossy. Again, on the much super soft, on the different tyres. Up the inside he goes on Breno. That's for P5, and he gets the move done. Big Spilly and I think that's maybe Pure Gold. The other dams are battling away for fourth or third.
But I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Third or fourth is what I meant to say. It's Jeff saying no cause concern to actually get onto onto the wet tyres as we make a meal of turn one and use every bit of extension road we can. But yeah, so basically it feels like it's going to be the same as France, really. We're going to be pretty much on these tyres for the remainder of the race. So you just had to play the cautious game through here and sort of had to change your driving style a little bit here. If we go from the dry period to the wets, as we slowly close in here. Toei Zed's had a shocking run coming out of turn 7. We'll get him easily here into P13 here. So there might be a few guys that may struggle a little bit here. The dry tyres on a bit of a damp track here. So this may play into our favour here. It depends on if there's any more guys that screw up a little bit, you can say. As Spilly and Pure Gold, I think, have come together. I think Pure Gold may have spun Spilly there, and well, Crossy says thank you very much. I'll take 2 free spots out of all of that. So I think Pure Gold was actually trying to give the spot back to Spilly, which I don't think Spilly was too thrilled about afterwards. Yellow flakes ahead. That's Gold Gloves, who's had a moment, I think, out of turn 1. So we've got another spot now into P12.
Gap to car in front is 6.0 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 23.8. You're losing around 3/10 a lap.
Just getting an update there on the car in front, which is ACI. He's got 0 penalties in front there, but what about Gold Gloves?
Our gap behind is 1.2 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:23.6. They have a time penalty of 12.0.
Okay, we should be safe from behind here, but if we were to gain any positions here, we'd probably be a long shot here as we get very sideways coming out of turn 1 as we're on the way home for the last lap of the Grand Prix. DRS is now disabled, so basically we're just going to have to bare our teeth here and just do our absolute best to just get to the finish line as we absolutely make a break, break a little bit too deep there into turn 3. And we just managed to get through the corner there, thankfully. But Gaming Wafer has actually won the feature race.
Okay, gap ahead is 6.1 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 34.0.
I think that's from a teammate. I'm not 100% sure of that because he's actually lost a spot now to ACI. And you see, I'm really starting to close in here. I actually felt comfortable, very comfortable in these conditions here. You know, obviously being patient on the throttle as well and just upshifting through the gears. Felt really comfortable there. It's actually Crossy, I think, that's won the Grand Prix. We'll get to that in a moment. But you see, I'm really starting to close in on these guys here quite a bit as we get another track limits warning there. One more, we get another time penalty. But this is actually going to be pretty good here. We're going to come across the line, I think, in P12 in the end. Yes, it will be. We don't gain any position at the end. But my teammate actually ends up in the top 10. So great result for him as we give him a little nudge there. Not our fault, it was just the AI's fault. But there's Bod Hod going for a spin on the final lap, coming around the final penultimate couple of corners there. Don't think he'll lose too much time, actually. You know, I think he's the last of the finishers there. Anyway, so, yeah, it turned out to be Crossy that won the feature race here at Austria because I think Gaming Wafer had penalties, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to clarify that in a moment or two as the podium celebrations go nuts here. Actually, Wafer might have dropped back to P3, so not entirely 100% sure because I believe he crossed the line at first, but he must have had a heap of penalties to drop back to P3. But we'll have a look at the results here. So there you go. Crossy wins the Grand Prix feature race, ahead of Plebs and Gaming Wafer. Got a 5-second time penalty, so that would explain a lot. We'll probably have to do with maybe speeding into the pits, potentially. I'm not 100% sure there in the end, but back down to us in my teammate in P10 and ourselves in P12. There's obviously a couple of cars that were a lap down, Lunacy, James, Cruz, and BK. But here we go into the second race, and again, weather could play a factor here. We're on obviously the no stop here with just have to be on the harder compounded tyres, obviously. But again, rain could play a factor in this, but there may be actually a chance we may be going on to the wet compounded tyres. We'll probably have to wait and see, but we set off again for the formation lap here.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
Thank you, Jeff, as always. So, fingers crossed we can potentially, now I say potentially because it's been a fair while actually since I actually scored some points. It'd have to go back, got probably a bit Bahrain. I don't know exactly what happened with Spilly there.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
He literally, Spilly's car just appeared out of nowhere, so not 100% sure what on earth happened there anyway, but yeah, had to go back, I think, to round 1 in Bahrain when we last scored points. No Stone Town, my teammates, already scored a point so far for the team, but I'd like to score some good points for this round as well. Well, some decent points anyway, if it's the bottom half, because only the top 8 get points in this one as well. So here we go for the sprint race here at Austria. 5 red lights. Let's do it around the Red Bull Ring for a second time, and again we get a good start. We've beaten the other Arden car of ACI off the line here, but we're going to go to the left-hand side this time. Last time we were at the right-hand side, but this time I decided to go to the left because I didn't want to get caught up in any cars there. We managed to get around the outside of my teammate there, so we're up in the 10th place. Now we're going to try and chase after Crossy here, who's on the super soft compounded tyres, which I found very surprising here as we go very deep and nearly take the back of Crossy there. That would have been a little bit awkward. I think thankfully the ghosting saved me there as someone else ran very wide down into turn 3, but now we're under attack. We've lost a spot to my teammate, but now Bodhod is putting pressure on us as well. He's also on the super soft compounded tyres, so there's obviously a couple of guys that are on the super soft tyres. There's Pure Gold, who don't know exactly what happened there with him. He's had a terrible start, really. He's on the softs, but yeah, he's actually dropped back quite a few spots. Actually, no, actually, it might be a couple of spots. I think he started, well, he finished, I think, P4 in the last race, but I might have started P6, so he might have lost a few spots there in the end, but he's going to have to make a recovery. He goes up the inside now, my teammate. We're going to try maybe do a slingshot here, but muck up turn 1 massively, and the run was absolutely horrible here, so he may be under attack here from ACI here in the Arden car behind, the BWT Arden car, I should point out, because of the pink sponsorship there, but make sure he doesn't get it past us here into turn 3. He's got the better power down here in that car and might get the move done here, but we still love his inside here, so we're not giving up hope yet. We'll drop back to P12 for the time being. We're still maybe having to look up the inside here into turn 4. He runs in deep there, does ACI. And there's contact behind between here and Bodhod. And Bodhod's gone for a spin. I think maybe BK maybe pretty much finished him off there, so that will be very awkward there for both the Campos cars, unfortunately. That's anyway, we'll skip a couple of laps later because we're now slowly but surely catching up to my teammate Stone Town. The rain is coming down, or starting to come down as well, so it's come maybe, well, a little bit early or maybe about par where...
This rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
Actually, it might have started a lap earlier. It said, I've written down on my notes here, but as I keep forgetting here, but you can probably tell that Stone Town's red Xing on my screen. That's mainly to do with my internet, because it seems okay with the first of the feature race, but in the second race it seems to sort of play up a little bit. Don't know why that is, but lap 4 we're starting to put a bit more pressure on my teammate here for the top 10. Obviously this is not the top 10 for the final points paying position, because like I said, top 8 in the sprint race get points, and in the sprint race, top 10 obviously get points in the feature race, so it's a little bit different the point system, but obviously you get a lot of points if you get pole position, like Gaming Wave you did with 4, but had a little bit of a think about it, but not quite close enough there in the end. But we're starting to put a little bit of pressure here, but we literally try and get past him as quickly as we can. As the guys are starting to pull away in front as Crossy's off the road at turn 6.
Good job.
So not sure whether he's had a moment there or what, but he's dropped a couple of spots big time there for Crossy. And he's, like I mentioned, he's also one of those guys on the super softs.
Okay, be careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
Okay, so Jeff's telling us to pretty much stay out here until it actually buckets down. Because like I said earlier, F2 cars don't have intermediate tyres, they only have wet tyres. So You've got to literally wait till it's fully wet until you get onto the wets. So up the inside we go here. A lap 5 into turn 3 on my teammate. To get the better drive out of here, we might get it done. We've got to go side by side here. We do get the DRS, but now we're going to, I think, slot in behind here and maybe try and get the slipstream there. There's a little bit of lag moment there as well. Again, that's mainly to do with me. But up the inside we go. A little bit of a brake lock. That there may have been a slight bit of contact.
The situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Jeff's telling us to pretty much, again, stay with this tyre. So that's what we're going to do for the time being until absolutely is time for wets in this race. So again, we're still putting pressure on the teammate. You can see the gap starting to fall get away. As Dr. Dre's off the road there in the Prema, so that puts us up in the 9th place. So basically my teammate's in the points at the current moment. I also want to get myself in the points as well, so we can get both the MP Motorsport cars in the points. This will be a massive, massive moment, you could say. The GOAT team, we literally call ourselves the GOAT team for a reason. Even though technically I'm in the GO car, but I have no issues with that whatsoever. I think Tao wanted to try and get in the GO car as best he could, but I'm not having any of that anyway. I might have to fight for it for the rest of the season. Up the inside we go here. Oh, there's chaos in front there as we just managed to make the corner there and get the move done on Stone Tower. But Gaming Wafer has come together, but I think that's Pure Gold in the foreground. Possibly, potentially, I'm not 100% sure, but in the dams. But Wafer's also on the super soft tyres here as he goes in very deep into the crisscross here. We get the move done as well, so up in the 7th spot now. This race is just getting better and better for MP Motorsport. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we'll look at the replays of the restart. He's on board with Plebs in position 7 as he goes around the outside here of Gaming Wafer. Nearly slaps into the back of Pure Gold there in the dams. As he's now side by side here with the other dams of Breno. There he is. It just manages to hang on for the time being. As they're literally going side by side. I think the leading guys that started from first 2 rows there. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Plebs and Gaming Wafer. It's managed to get away with it, and thankfully Plebs has not got any front wing damage, so that's a bonus there as well. But he's also one of the guys on the soft compounder tyres. Oh, okay, that might explain what happened with Pure Gold. Not 100% sure whether he tried for a move and it failed, or whether Gaming Wave had something to do with it. Not entirely sure there, but going back on board here with Cross. He doesn't get the greatest of starts off the line there. Loses the spot, obviously, to Breno. There's a little look up the inside here. It's not quite can do there, but that was obviously me going right around the outside of my teammate there. Obviously, you can't see it, obviously, because it's Crossy's point of view. But anyway, this is what occurred here up into turn 3. Going right around the outside. He actually went a little bit deep as well. I'm thankful I did actually slam into the back of it, because that would have been curtains really for us. But somehow it sort of works to him a little bit here. As he and Breno going side by side here. And again, there's difference in tyre compounds, because Crossy's on super softs and Breno is on softs. There's what happened with Pure Gold. Now, I think these are the same super softs that you race with in the feature race, if I'm not mistaken. So they'd be fairly worn tyres. They would be in the super soft tyres. On board we go back to James, who started from obviously 17th place. There's BK getting a very nice start there off the line here. I think he's due to play it nice and cautiously again here. Maybe hope for a few chaos and carnage. Oh, nearly slams into the back there of BK and Gold Gloves. BK and Gold Gloves really, I think, come together. But see what happens here into turn 3. Is he going to go for one of the big dive bombs that he's had so far? BK goes for a move up the inside and maybe makes contact, I think, with Teo Lunacy. Toei's head really ends way off the road there. So not entirely 100% sure what happened with him there, as the players go for a late move up the inside. No contact, but manages to get away with it. He might actually lose a spot to Crossy here. This is when the rain was starting to sort of come down a little bit more here, but if anything, Pure Gold may take full advantage of this. He has got past Crossy, actually. Nearly got past Plebs as well, so that would have been 2 for 1 there for Pure Gold, but Plebs just managing to hang on for the time being. Now, Pure Gold's still there or thereabouts there. So this is not over yet. It's what happens through this corner here. Okay, so this might be explaining what happened with Crossy. A bit hard to tell exactly what occurred there. There's Pure Gold trying to go around the outside of Plebs there, going into the final penultimate couple of corners there, but not quite enough there. Okay, see what happens here. So that was players trying to go right around the outside. You see it's very sideways, and so does Crossy. And then here comes Pure Gold, gets way better momentum. How on earth he got much better drive out of the corner? I have no idea. Remember, everybody's on stock setup, so only thing you can change pretty much is the brake bias. So, all right, let's see what happens here. So his super soft tyres are a bit worn for Crossy. You know, oh, okay, he just makes contact, I think, maybe with the right rear of Pure Gold there. Don't think there was any harm or malice there whatsoever, but just probably just a little bit of an error there. Oh, lunacy getting right up close to the back there of the Sauber Junior team. But he just manages to get the move done. May have a look up the inside. No, he doesn't quite for the phenomenal call. But here he goes around the final quarter here as lunacy runs very wide there. And he gets the move done, so it puts him back up into P11. Now back we go to Plebs. This is on lap 5 now, a bit further up the road here. This is Gaming Wafer and his teammate, Dr. Dre, having a battle here for this will be P4, I think, in the race. Yes, it will be. So there's Wafer trying to get the DRS in the slipstream, obviously. Point out as well that Gaming Wafer should be on relatively worn, you would think, super soft compounded tyres. Not entirely sure whether Dre is on super softs as well. A bit actually hard to tell here from my previous screen. You guys and girls will be able to see on your screen whether that's actually true or not. He might be on the softs, I'm not 100% sure there, but see what happens through here. So goes in a little bit deep there. Goes straight. Oh, he gets a little bit sideways. No, I think he actually is on the soft top out of tyres, and thankfully didn't make any contact with his teammate. That would have been a bit awkward down at Prema after the race, that is for sure. It's back we go. That was Plebs making an easy move there on Wafer, who absolutely bottled turn 1, literally going way too deep. As I think Dre's actually coming to the lane. As up the inside goes Pure Gold. Does he have the better drive out of the corner this time? No, not quite. I don't think so. Pure Gold will have to wait for his moment for the time being. Here's what happened here with Crossy. Okay, so there was a little bit of contact. I was actually expecting my teammate to actually come to do like the over and under thing, but I was wondering why he didn't get back past me. Now I know why, because a slight bit of contact there with Crossy, and he's now lost a spot now to BK. Up the inside he goes on BK. This is for 10th, and he gets him. Does BK did a crisscross? Yes, he does. And he gets him back, BK, so he gets back into the top 10 and Crossy back into 11th place. So how much longer can they go on the super soft tyres before I have to maybe take a gamble? Here's Plebs trying to go around the outside of Kick Butt Kiwi for third place, I should say. That's the podium. So Plebs now up into third place. Billy's also on the super soft compounded tyres. So there's quite a few that are taking a massive, massive gamble on the super soft tyres. I think they were hoping maybe that the rain would come a lot early and then they could get off these tyres and get onto the wets. But they might have to bite the bullet here and actually get on the wets. That's what Crossy's done. Bonhod's already gone onto the wets. Gaming Wave has also come in for the wet compounded tyres. Should point out as well that Toddy, who's the championship leader, he could not make this race as well. So I think Uni Virtuoso, UNI Virtuoso, I've since found out what the team name is down a driver, I think so. And that was the moment there for Crossy. You'd probably be thinking now, why it's coming this early.
Tough, but bear with it. I don't think the track is ready for intermediates yet.
We're just keep doing the same thing. What we just keep it on, tracking along here as we do.
Heavy rain in around 15 minutes time. 15 minutes.
We're just going to keep on going for as long as we dare. And if we have to, we can go to the rest of the race.
Issues with tyre wear right now. You should have good grip for a while yet.
The rest of the super soft compound tyres, I think guys have come in. That'll be Spilly and Kick Butt Kiwi. But like I was saying, yeah, Toddy was could not make this race, so and he's the championship leader.
Touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready when you need them.
Someone should reprogram Jeff for F2, because I keep saying F2 does not have intermediate tyres, they only have wet tyres. So basically you're going to have to take a risk here, whether you stay out on the dries or come in for the wets. There's a couple more guys in the pit lane. Pure Gold, Schmitty and my teammate, as you saw them, have come into the pit lane. But we're sticking it out here. myself here, Breno, and I think I think it's Plebs that's actually staying out here. Now DRS is now disabled, so I'm now questioning at this moment why I didn't come in on the previous lap. But just get to continue on here and see how actually wet it is as we go very deep into turn 3. As can be said for Breno, so might actually just be time for the wet compound tyres potentially. So. Well, a bit hard to tell, really, because
we can't take you right now. Pit in next lap.
We're going to actually box this lap, even though Jeff said don't come in. But that was mainly because my teammate had come in. But yeah, usually that's the time when you want to go. If you're in an F1 car, that's when you want to go onto the intermediate tyres. But like I said, these cars are different. You have to basically take a punt whether you stick out on the dries until it actually gets fully wet, or whether you take the punt now. So, but anyway, you can see James is losing spots here, right, left, and centre to the guys on wet. So, might be potentially time for the dry tyres to maybe go onto the wets. As I think James had a little internet issues as well. You see the drive up the corner there is not ideal compared to the guys on wet. So, might be actually time to come in for the wet compounded tyres, but. It's literally what we're going to do here.
In under 10 minutes.
The rain, possibly heavy rain, coming in 10 minutes, but might be too little too late because I doubt we'll be able to get it there, but to make up a little bit of time there into the pit lane. Myself and Breno have now made our way into the pit lane here, so we're going to chuck on the wet compounded tyres. Just wanted to play it safe, obviously. I was tempted to maybe stick it out for as long as I could, but I thought better off to be safe and sorry, and I think the guys on the wets were starting to close in as well. But maybe trying to get a jump on Breno. Unfortunately, we couldn't in the end. So fingers crossed we can still get a decent points pay position. So I think Gaming Wave is just coming down the front straight now. As into turn 1 he goes as we nearly collect the pit lane wall coming out of the pit lane exit there. But we just drop in behind Gaming Wave, so we're not far away from the points here at the current moment. You can see we're starting to close in here with only, lap 11, 3.5 laps to go here. Just going to close in here on James Cruz, who's sticking it out here on the soft compounded tyres, so he'd probably be struggling a little bit. You see how much he is struggling through that corner there. I was hoping he didn't come back, spin around and come straight back into me, but thankfully that wasn't the case, so well done, James. So we're up into 8th place now. We're trying to close in on these guys as Breno, I think, has had a moment there. He's lost a spot there to Gaming Wafer. Not entirely 100% sure on that one, but James going way wide at turn 1, so you can tell. I think it's definitely time for the wet weather compounded tyres. As there's Breno going past, and then Gaming Wafer will probably be not too far behind here as trying to stop it here as best he can. There's a little bit of contact at the back of the dams. Literally pushing him through the corner. A little bit sideways coming out of the corner there for Breno, but you should see Gaming Wafer. There he is, off to the right-hand side, and yeah, pretty simple move there in the end for Gaming Wafer. And again, James really struggling, and there goes another spot. There's contact with here, BK, as he managed to avoid it. There's avoided another car behind. That was my teammate as well, so he's managed to avoid that for the time being here. But you'll probably see as well, you can probably tell that not the first bright red dot, but the second bright red dot, that's actually Plebs. He's staying out on the soft compounded tyres. I thought he's a really brave man. I even was thinking to myself, maybe I should have done that. Maybe it might work, because he's on track for the potential reverse sprint race victory here. It will be, I'm not entirely sure the numbers, how many races, who's won how many races so far this season, but I probably should do that for maybe future seasons. But James lost the spot, obviously, to Toey Z, Rudy NZ. That was for P11 and 12. But now he's got a couple of more cars, I think, behind him here in form of Gold Gloves, and I think Crossy's the other one here. It's sideways, or it might have been contact, actually, and there's more contact as well. I think he's actually smashed into the side there of Gold Gloves, I believe, and there's Crossy going right around the outside, and he'll get it done, and there goes Gold Gloves as well. So yeah, I think it's definitely time for the wet compounded tyres here. But I commend any of the guys that have stuck it out on the on the dry tyres, especially this late on in the race here. But what's going on here with Crossy. So he made the move down the inside of Gold Gloves, but I don't know, maybe didn't pick that James was braking a lot earlier than he was. But that probably have something to do with the dry tyres, obviously. But obviously he just gave him the spot back because I feel like it didn't want to get a penalty. But and then he got the spot back in the end, so he's up in the P12.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.4 seconds. They're on fresh wets. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 26.0.
And that's the update on Breno, who's got 0 penalties. I think I'm okay as well. It's fairly clean at the moment in the second race. What about BK behind?
The gap to the car behind is 3.5 seconds. They're on old wets. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:26.4.
Okay, so BK has got 0 penalties either. So everyone was sort of keeping it fairly clean in this second race here compared to, I think a few guys may have got a few penalties in the first. Oh, wow, okay. That was an interesting bit of moment there for James. Does a little, well, gets a little bit caught up there with that Tay Lunacy and goes for a big 360. Gets away with no damage and I think continues on here. And he's still going on the soft compounded tyres here. Runs in very, very deep here. So I think you can safely say that the dries are not the tyre of choice right at this moment of time. But his Gold Gloves gets by him there for for 15th place. But you'll see coming through turn 7 now, loses the back end, and yeah, there's the wall awaiting him. And there goes a bit of front wing, so yeah, it's not gone well, unfortunately, for James.
Damage, and we think you should be okay to continue. It'll cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race.
Jeff telling him to basically stay out for the remainder of the race. There's only, well, literally a couple of laps to go, literally, but yeah, we're on the final lap now. We're starting to close in a little bit as well. We just didn't quite have enough to Breno in front here, but we're still obviously in a good chance. Schmitty somehow has won the sprint race. I don't know how he's done that. It's yeah, we're coming around the final couple of wheels. We're in P8 at the moment here. There's a spinner around. That's Plebs who's got around as we come straight into the path of him there. Unfortunate the way that ended there, unfortunately, but we're going to get P7 in this race. Incredible stuff from the GOAT team. Even I was surprised at what this has probably been the best weekend MP Motorsports had, if I'm honest here. It's incredible stuff all around. Stone Towel ends up in P10 there, as you probably see Bodhod there going way off there in the foreground there. Probably a bit hard to tell with my Roscoe Arm graphic there, thanks to Sevi Graphics as always. But Dre managed to get him in the end, I think, for 16th, and Bodhod finished as 17th in the end there. But I'm probably gonna be hated in the comments for this afterwards. Maybe poor old Plebs. He was leading the race with about nearly a lap to go here, and then it all went pear-shaped really, as there was Schmitty going by here. Plebs, if you're watching this, please don't kill me. We just wanted to see what was going on with you in these final couple of laps. If you want to go see his full point of view, there'll be links down below to everybody as YouTube channels. If you want to go check them out, they'll be down below here. But it loses a spot as well to Spilly, so that's P2 gone away. But you just see, it's just literally on. Well, you have to say it really. It's on an ice skating rink around here. He's just doesn't want to get on the powers early. But there goes Pure Gold for the podium. So there goes the podium result, unfortunately, for Plebs. But yeah, drivers will be lining up right, left and centre in a moment. He goes in way too deep there. Again, probably has to do with the conditions. There goes Kick Butt Kiwi. That's for 4th. You know, won't be too far away with the amount of time he's losing. And the guys on the wets will be gaining on him here. Won't be too far away before Gaming Wafer catches up. But Pure Gold has actually had a moment there, so that would explain what happens in yellow flags. So Plebs gets the move on P4. So might have a decent result here in the end. He's still got a couple of corners to go here. There's a Wafer will look up the inside there. He does. And I think Plebs goes in too deep. I actually thought there was contact with somebody else, but and there's the contact with me. But yeah, I originally thought there was contact with somebody else there, like originally. But no, Plebs just went in a little bit too deep there in the end. I think somehow he gets the final point. So that's probably, well, he probably would have liked a bit more. They'd probably asked Plebs. But yeah, I don't think it would change anything really if if I'm honest. I think he would have just stuck it out there. He's probably hoping the track wasn't as wet enough as it got at the end there. But anyway, that's what it is. James comes across the line as always, but he's a nice crash as always. But that was certainly an entertaining race. If this doesn't get a big smash on the like button, I don't know what will. And also a big subscribe on my YouTube channel as well. If you want to see plenty more Race Spec F1 Esports content on this channel. But there's the podium. We'll get on to the final race results in a moment or two. We'll get a nice bit of XP as always. We're getting into the silver rank as well for online and PS4, so that's not too bad as well. But XJ Schmidt wins the sprint race ahead of Spilly in P2, and Kickbutt Kiwi gets on the podium with Pure Gold in 4th and Bretto in 5th, Gaming Wafer. Ourselves in P7. We nearly got Gaming Wafer because he got another penalty. But and obviously Plevs, maybe if we didn't have the contact with Plevs, it was potential. It was probably a long shot anyway. But and then he got BK in 9th, my teammate rounding out the top 10. So 2 top 10s. For my teammate, not too bad overall, and all the way down to Toey Z, Rudy and Z, Crossy, ACI, Gold Gloves, and you probably would have seen the whole lot there. There's the overall round results. So somehow Crossy, I think, gets Crossy and Gaming Wafer share the points for the round results. So nice job from him. But there's our points. Get a nice 2 points, and my teammate get 1 point. So championship-wise, Toddy obviously didn't race, like I mentioned. A 62-point margin has now been gold back to 40 points, I think it is now, between he and Spilly. Pure Gold in 3rd and XJ Schmidt in 4th, and Crossy in 5th position. Sauber Junior team of a 17-point margin over Uni Virtuoso. And you got Dams in 3rd, ART there in 4th. Premier and Trident are actually equal 5th there on 116. Then got Carlin, Campos, and then MP Motorsport with the decent round up in P9. 3 points clear of BWT Arden there. But there's the overall results so far for the overall season. So I think we jumped up maybe 1 spot in the end of all that. So, yeah, a bit hard to tell there. But, yeah, overall, I call that a decent weekend. So, and hopefully this momentum continues for us at the next round, which I'll get to in a moment or two. But I'll leave you now with the highlights from the feature race and the sprint race. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big smash to that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Race Spec F1 Esports content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, like I said earlier, you can check out the links for everybody else's YouTube videos that I've used in my video. You can check them out there. They'll be down in below. Plus, you can check out the socials for the Race Spec. I'll have them down there, and the YouTube channel. And I'll leave the link as well for the live stream if you want to go check that out as well. But, yeah, till the next time, which will be the British Grand Prix for round 7. It is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.